price cuts are happening, inventory is rising, and the media are now on board telling you guys,
hey, look, prices are going up. We knew this was gonna happen.
and we have guys like the CEO of Redfin who is telling you guys, yeah, things aren't looking good. We're gonna react to a video where it looks like he's about to cry, guys. It looks like he's not in a great place when it comes to the market. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like where it's going. And you're going to hear some truths, guys. You're going to hear some truths. My name is Orlando. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. Make sure you check in the description. I have a newsletter that will give you tremendous value. And it's free. How can you beat that? These CEOs of Zillow, Redfin, the National Realtor Association, all of these guys are now coming out and saying, we don't know what happened. We have no clue why this is happening to the housing market.
I beg your pardon?
Now, all of a sudden, they're on board with housing prices going down. They're on board with, oh, there's going to be all this inventory that comes on the market. And now they have all the data to back it up. Let's jump into it.
Morgan Stanley's new housing forecast claims that for homeowners who can wait, relief may be coming, with the investment firm expecting prices to fall 3% by the end of next year. And when we say homeowners, we mean would-be homeowners or homeowners who want to sell and then move into a different home. But what does this mean now with mortgage rates still above 7% and the housing supply so incredibly tight? Let's bring in somebody we hope knows, CEO of real estate giant Redfin, Glenn Kelman. I know you're wiping the sweat off your brow, Glenn.
Man, Glenn seems very nervous. And as he should be, because Redfin was out here telling you guys, buy a home now. You guys better do it. If you don't do it, then the wealth that you're going to lose is just going to be so incredibly high. You don't want to do it. You better do it now.
I disagree.
They were using FOMO tactics to tell you guys, and now Glenn kind of has to eat crow, right? He has to come back and tell you guys,
If you bought a home in the last 2 years, especially if you overpaid for it, you're about to lose a lot of money.
Awkward. So awkward.
that's what he's about to tell you. And I keep telling you guys, these corporations aren't loyal. I get emails and DMs every day from people saying to me, Orlando, you know what? Redfin, Zillow, these guys would never lie to me. And I'm not joking, you guys. People actually send this to me. And I go, oh man, do you know how companies work, corporations work? They could care less about you.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you. You are just a number to them. That's all they care about. The bottom dollar, the bottom line is what they care about. And even though you may think, wow, they did something good for me, the only reason why they did something good for you, yes, you. The reason why they did that is because it did good for them.
It's really unfair.
Now, if it was the other way around, where it only helped you and it didn't help them, they wouldn't do it.
There has been a change in the market, a disturbance in the force, where for the first time, we are seeing inventory start to increase, both because people are listing homes and because old listings aren't selling. 1 in 5 homes have had price drops. What that bank said about prices coming down for the first time seems not just possible, but likely.
Okay, 1 in 5 are dropping their price. I always look, and sometimes in different areas where, you have a little dream of, oh, I'd love to have a little, a holiday home or something like that. And it's price cut, price cut, price cut. So that's not just one particular region.
So Glenn, the CEO of Redfin is telling you guys,
The way we're seeing the housing market now is, inventory's about to go up.
now, isn't that crazy? Because 6 months ago to a year ago, he was telling you, there's no way. There's no way that inventory is going to go up. He said that to you. He said, don't worry about it, guys. Buy the house right now. It won't hurt you at all because inventory is going to be so tight that price drops could never happen. But now he's telling you there's a disturbance in the force.
Oh! Oh, beautiful!
He's telling you that things are just different now. And it's kind of weird though. Hear me out on this. Isn't it a little wonky that after the prime housing season, after that ends, he gets on and he said, oh, well, things aren't going good. But during prime buying season, he was telling you,
Hey, you guys need to buy now. You buy today. If you don't buy today,
and then just 3 weeks later, he's like, oh, after we get into we're going into winter time, right after Black Friday, the holiday season. Now it's all, oh man, the housing market is something else, man. It's something else. It's things aren't going the way that we thought that they would go. Now he's copping to it only after prime buying has been depleted.
He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
So, guys, listen, I tried to tell you guys this. I tried to inform you to read in between the lines. Read in between the lines. And I need you to watch this in detail. Like, watch it. I'm going to commentate on it, but I need you to watch it and read in between the lines to listen to what Redfin CEO says. That you'll be scratching your head and be like, what? I need you to listen. Let's continue.
Now, as you start to see that movement, where are the areas that you feel will have the most inventory right now?
Oh, the Sun Belt. So investor activity is down 40% in the Sun Belt. If you look at a place even like Austin, Texas, where there was so much Airbnb activity, people were buying houses and trying to build an Airbnb empire. Property taxes came due in the fall, and so many people are trying to get out of that market to avoid paying the tax. So that was one of the first places where we saw prices soften. But if you go west across the American Southwest, you'll see the same thing. One place that is still doing relatively well is Florida, though. So many people want to move there that even though the market is soft, Florida is pretty strong.
Wow. Late to the party, right? So, guys, listen, I just want you guys to hear what he said. He's saying that, the Sun Belt is where we see tons of inventory. People were buying Airbnb, and property taxes are going up and nobody wants to pay it. It was basically a domino effect. But he's giving you this information right now only after they've made all of their commissions. They've done all their things. Once again, proving by fact that these corporations aren't loyal.
Do you believe me yet?
I've been talking about this and how this was going to affect you if you were in this realm of buying an Airbnb, buying in Austin, on the Sun Belt, on the coast, of people moving. And all of these things, I've done videos and more videos on this exact scenario telling you guys about the domino effect. But only in wintertime of 2023 does Redfin CEO tell you when their commissions are seasonally depressed. Does he come to you and say,
oh yeah, this right here, this is where things are not going like we thought, and we're letting people know. We're sounding the alarm.
I just want you guys to hear that. He's sounding the alarm. When I sounded the alarm, I was crazy. Remember? Orlando, what are you talking about? That's never going to happen. When I sounded the alarm, Orlando's crazy. But when the Redfin guy is sending an alarm, he's right on time, even though I did it a year ago. And then I love it how he says, guess what, guys? But, out of all of those places, you know where a really strong place is? It's Florida. Get ready, guys, because Florida, even though they do have their issues and whatnot, it's still a relatively strong market. Don't worry. Nothing's going to happen to Florida. I mean, of course they don't have any issues with property taxes. Of course they don't have any issues with insurance. Of course they don't have natural disasters. Of course inflation doesn't affect Florida at all. None of those things happen in Florida because guess what? It's a relatively strong market. Don't worry. It's holding tight, guys. Don't worry. It's good. Don't worry about it. It's not like those other places. It's not. It's not.
Maybe so, sir. But not today.
But let's continue on to hear what else he has to say. And this is where I encourage you. I encourage you to read in between the lines. Remember what he said about Florida?
Austin was sizzling, was it not?
Yeah. Well, the market give, the market take. In places that really went sky high, like Boise or Portland or Austin, Texas, they just came crashing back down to earth. It's sort of a thin market in some of these places because so many people wanted to move and there were so few homes. The prices really shot up at unsustainable rates. And now it's just really hard on the people who live there because they're looking back 6 months and say, what if I'd sold in 2022 or even at the beginning of 2023? What could I have gotten? And they are unwilling to mark it down, or at least they were until quite recently.
Is he describing Austin or is he describing Florida? Because that sounded a lot like Florida to me. I mean, make me understand it, guys. He said, Austin was a place where people came there and moved. A lot of people came there and moved because they didn't want to live in where they currently live. And prices just shot up to unaffordable rates. That sounds like Florida to me. So on one hand, he's telling you Florida is strong, right? He just said it. Florida is strong. He's surprised at how strong that market is. And it looks like it's going to continue to be strong. But then on the other hand, he's telling you the reason why Austin faltered, why Austin is falling, why prices are continue to decline in Austin. But the description of the reason, I want you guys to listen, the description of what he's telling you, of the reason why Austin is going down, it's the exact same thing that's happening in Florida. It's the exact same thing. And I would add, it's worse than Austin because at least you can get property insurance in Austin. At least you can get that. You can't even get property insurance in Florida. It's not readily available. You have to go to specialty insurance companies. A lot of insurance companies have fled Florida, just like they fled California. So in some ways, Austin is in better shape. And look what's happening in Austin. So we have all the same characteristics that are happening in Austin, happening in Florida, with a bunch of added on worse things happening in Florida. So you think that if you're in Florida right now listening to this video, you think that what's happening in Austin isn't going to happen in Florida? And I've said it over and over and over and over again, guys. Florida gets hit the hardest. I've said it over and over and over again that the Sun Belt and the coasts always get hit the hardest when it comes to a recession, when it comes to a downturn. Those areas, especially when it comes to housing and real estate, will get hit the hardest. And you're telling me that in this downturn, Florida is going to keep its value? It's going to keep all of its things with the things that we know are currently happening in Florida? No, sir. But don't worry, guys. At the end of the day, Zillow, Redfin, all of these guys show their true colors in the very end. They really do. So let's go ahead and continue to see what the Redfin CEO has to say to you guys who are trying to buy a house.
Like, what is the strategy to making sure you get the best deal when buying a home?
Well, number one, you've got to date the rate and marry the house. So I just tell people, regardless of the season, that you want to make sure you really love the property.
I know some of you guys who are corporate on the corporate ladder, guys there who are saying,
Orlando, you're painting this guy in the wrong light.
I mean, I didn't say it. Listen, it came out of his mouth. It did. I didn't say date the rate, marry the house. He said it himself.
Well, number one, you've got to date the rate and marry the house.
It just goes to show you, no matter what, these guys, they're still going to come out and say these ridiculous things. He's saying, hey, you gotta date the rate, marry the house, telling you, go ahead and just buy that house, even if it's overpriced. I mean, because how could he pass up a chance? How could he pass up a chance to sell a home on national media on Fox News, right? He couldn't pass up the moment and say, hey guys, look, this isn't a good time to buy a house. He had to say, hey, if you're looking to buy a house, use Redfin. So a realtor is going to be a realtor. It is what it is, guys. But I hope you got value out of this content, guys. As always, you won't get all of your information off this one video. I need you to watch this video over here. It will give you information on the housing market, financial news, get into your first rental property, and I promise you the information you will get from it will be gold. See you on the next one. Thanks.